I think we're good. I think we're on. We're on.
We're on?
We're on. We're on. Hey, what's up, man? How's it going?
Well, obviously we're live and living because it says we're live, so I think we're live.
That is true, man. So it's been a while bringing you guys another episode of the Brisco and Big A show, and a lot
before we say anything, why don't we give a big old thanks out to the VOC Nation for start promoting our brand and start getting us out there. We do truly respect the VOC Nation and everybody there that truly helps out with us, and we really thank you guys.
Yeah, definitely. The boys over there at VOC Nation. And it was cool to see. We got some cool write-ups on our Dr. Tom Pritchard interview that we did.
So and we weren't even trying.
Oh, that's cool. And I was just about to say our interview we did, but it wasn't really much of an interview. Like, again, it's just us having a conversation with your friends that come on. So, but yeah, that was cool to see people enjoyed that. And again, yeah, big shout out to VOC Nation. You can catch our audio versions on their website over there. So check it out, VOC Nation. Yeah, man, I think we're gonna do some like a commercial or something for them. I think too. I think they're doing stuff like that, so they asked. So, but yeah, man, definitely cool to have cool people helping us out, and we're glad to be a part of that team. But yeah, a lot of things happening. Justin says hello. Yeah, you had a big last week. Reading that, I love when people write you messages and stuff because it's like,
yeah. Oh, I don't know, maybe. We'll see.
But yeah. Anyways, so big thing that happened for you is you had your first show back in the ring, pandemic era. So what was it like, man? I mean, first of all, so this is what's cool about entertainment that's going on right now. And yeah, thanks for everybody that's hanging out with us right now. And hello. If you got questions or anything about wrestling, or just you want to ask Wes a question, we'll take them too. Kind of just hanging out today, man, just catching up. Because again, like I said, a lot of stuff going on. Entertainment definitely needed right now. So like when you see things that people can hop on entertainment wise, you're seeing comedians get back out on the road right now, and those shows selling decently. I know the Jericho cruise I'm going on is already almost sold out, and we're not even sure if it's actually going to happen in February, but it's already like 50 cabins left. So
yeah, I don't know about going on a cruise.
I've wrestled with it, but I'm going to just go for it. You only live once, right? Why not? You had your first show, and the cool thing is you had your first show back, Atomic Wrestling. You are the Atomic
with crowd. That's
right. And so I had seen already because I follow Atomic and everything you guys are doing. And even though I'm in Minnesota, I knew that these shows were selling out and people were ready to get back to it. Look, thoughts of your show last weekend. That's what we're about to get into right now. So yeah, what was it like? You had your first show back. It was sold out, right? Social distancing.
Yeah, we were only allowed, I believe it was 200 people, and we sold out.
Now to put the perspective on this, how many people can that venue hold?
Normally?
Yes.
Normally, we could probably get like 400.
Okay. So you guys are running like half capacity.
Half capacity, and we had a sheriff there. So we were obeying by all laws, all statutes. There was anything that was against the law was not happening because we paid for our sheriff to be involved to make sure that we followed all the proper rules for Atomic Wrestling, Revolution Wrestling, because we don't want to risk getting shut down or getting the building taken away because we have a show next month. And seeing the people and just seeing everyone, because right now we're in torrent mode, like everything's in chaos right now, and with the world, and people are pulling apart, and people are going one way and another person wants to go the other way. But man, everyone at the wrestling show just came together, and we were all family. There was no separation. It was just all smiles. And to be back in that environment where, you're surrounded by people that you love to be around. You're surrounded by the boys and the girl. And then also you have the crowd, and seeing how excited the crowd was and seeing their emotions, just to be able to like get out of the house and just kind of feel normal. I know that sounds super weird, but it like, even for me, I mean, it felt like the day was normal. It felt like almost like everything that, all the bad things that are going on with the cops, the rioting, all this stuff, the coronavirus, it seemed to just kind of just go away for that 2.5 hours. It was just absolutely amazing. And it gives me goosebumps right now just thinking about it. And all the boys and all the girls that went out there and wrestled, they put on some of the best matches I've seen in a long time, because we were just so fired up to give the crowd and the people or all that. Every match was a 6-star match. I mean, it was a great experience. And, so far, no one got sick. Everything worked out. It was really good. And it was a blessing that we were able to do that.
That's awesome. Yeah. Like I said, we're just at a time now. What's up, Greg? Heck yeah. And he says it felt good to entertain the fans again. That's a long 4 months, especially, I mean, people who don't entertain like you guys do, don't get sitting at home and how crazy that you can't do what you're supposed to be doing and that you love doing. So, oh, hello.
From the Samoans. What's up?
So that's awesome. So how you said it went well, everything went well, everybody was firing on all cylinders, matches were great. Now you remain eventing, I'm assuming you're the champ.
Yeah. Of course, yeah.
How'd it go? I heard there was some interference. Maybe not interference, but I heard someone made their presence felt.
Yeah, and I kind of didn't understand it. Shannon Moore, good friend of mine, ex-WWE wrestler, TNA, has done everything, traveled around the world, one of the guys that I respect a lot. For some reason, I don't know what I did to piss him off, but after I retained the championship, he decided to come in there and fake like he was my friend and kind of knock my head off. And I'm not joking. He literally tried to take my head off. And, I don't know what's going on. I guess we're going to have to find out on the next show. But I guess he's gunning for me. And you know what? I'm ready. I'm cocked, ready to go, boy. I already got my finger on the trigger. So it is what it is. But, I'm looking forward to, battling it out with him, because he's someone I looked up to. But now it's time to shut him up. So we'll see.
Nice. Yeah, I'm interested to see this. I'm going to enjoy that. Two amazing talents in the ring together, plus knowing you guys are friends. When I was down there, yeah, when I was down there at the last Atomic show back in February, when I was in Orlando hanging out with you, we were right next to Shannon hanging out. So crazy. The title does things to people, man. It does things to people. It makes them go crazy in the head.
I seriously don't know, because I would have gave him the opportunity for a title shot any day of the week if he would have just asked me. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's different. Like, if he would have approached me and like, hey, Wes, like, whatever, cool. Hey, I would like a shot. I'm a man. I'm a fighting, I'm a fighting champion. I don't turn down a challenge nor a fight. So of course, I'd give him the opportunity. I'd give anybody the opportunity. But for what he did was just, it's kind of shitty. It's kind of like, who are you? But, I guess we'll find out the real Shannon Moore next month. So
that's right. So check it out. Atomic Revolutionary Wrestling. Man, I got to get back down there. I'm still traveling's like crazy right now. Like, I see that people are starting to get more into it. And I'm still a little nervous.
My friend worked at the airport, and he said it was slammed today.
I've heard that. What's up, Brian? Thanks for hanging out. That's what I've heard. I've heard that, like I said,
Brian.
it's getting crazy. Places are opening, man.
Secret.
And that's what's crazy, because down there by you, I mean, you got your theme park heaven down there. I mean, you got
okay, now here's the thing that's kind of like I'm on the fence on. We're getting a lot of cases right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think the right thing, I mean, I'm no politician, I'm no one, so don't listen to me, don't quote me. This is just my opinion. And I'm right to have opinion just like everybody else. I kind of don't think we should allow other people from other states quite into our state yet. That's just my opinion. I think we should have waited a little bit longer and let Florida open up because you got to look at it like this. All of our local businesses are only open to around 20 to 30% capacity, depending on the location and the district that you're in, or county, or city. So that means that for us locals that live here in Florida, we do, our whole economy revolves around tourism. But you got to understand, everything's only opened up 0.5%. So now for us, the locals, to go out to the grocery stores, to the restaurants and stuff, we have to call ahead, get tables and stuff like that, where it's just, it's kind of like, and then plus people are bringing the disease down to Florida, because for the longest time, we were pretty cool. Like, we had the lowest cases at all. And then once we opened up the state and everyone started to be like, oh, we're going to go see Florida's open, let's go back and vacation. Because a lot of my friends, like, of course, Danny, he's been on the show. He owns a bunch of rental properties. He owns
Danny.
He owns like 4 or 5 beach properties. They're not on the beach, but they're walking distance from the beach. And they all got rented out from people from up north. So, I mean, I hate to say, but I wish we would have just shut down our border kind of, and let Florida, let us get back running, let all the locals get their shops up, let everybody get back up and going, and then, open it up. That's just my opinion, and that's what I kind of think. But, I'm not the governor, I'm not the mayor, I ain't no president, I ain't nothing.
Not yet, at least.
You don't want to be.
You don't want to run for any sort of office, Wes?
Man, I got charges and stuff.
No, I definitely agree to what you're saying. Like, it would have been safer to have states open within the state before you open to travelers and stuff. Because I know here, being where I'm at, Minnesota, when Wisconsin opened way more than we did here in Minnesota, so everybody went to Wisconsin and then came back, and so Wisconsin's like, great, you guys are gonna come and infect us, and now we're like, and then people here are like, fine, don't open, we're gonna go there, get infected, and come back home, and it's just like, you guys are crazy, man, crazy. Yeah. Brian, you're right. People think they can just go right back into normal life. Like, there's got to be some sort of transition. Plus, normal life as we know it, as of right now, isn't going to be our normal life.
They should allow each state to get back up on their feet before allowing other people to come into their state. I mean, I'm sorry, I think that way. That's my opinion. But I think we should allow the people that live in that state to let us get situated and figure out what we're going to do when the jobs are coming back, how we're going to be employed, all that other stuff before we start letting other people into our state. Because then, we don't. What are the locals going to do? What are, the people that live here every single day going to do? And when supplies start running out, let's say there's, you never know what might happen. I don't know. And 2, our governor is allowing every sporting event here. So now, not only we're just getting an influx of people, because we're going to have NFL here, we're going to have basketball here, we're going to have baseball here, we're going to have a lot. Florida is like we kind of crazy.
Well, I mean,
our governor is just he's like, what's up? He just wants money.
Yeah.
Like, come on, bro. We open up. We got the facilities.
Well, and he's getting it. I mean, there was that thing with WWE and still getting to run because they were essential in the state of Florida, which is so crazy, guys.
Oh my God, there's my beautiful girl, Stephanie.
Stephanie.
Congratulations on her
Can we talk about it?
AEW Dark. She whipped some ass up on that.
Yeah, killer time on Dark. I was watching. It was awesome. So great job, Stephanie. You guys, make sure you check her out.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I watched the whole Dark show,
right?
And I'm not being biased because she's kind of my wifey and my love, but the rest of the show just wasn't. The girls' match was like the best on the show. Like, I really enjoyed it, and you know, she's killing it.
Yeah, looking fierce coming out. I loved it. It was a good time. You know what threw me off about that Dark? What's up, Kyle? It was weird that the very first match had 0 people out there, and then like as it was going on, more people seemed to be coming out. Like it just seemed weird because that first match was so quiet compared to that.
Yeah, and I don't really think I like just the people, like only like 6 people on each side. Like it kind of, for me, I was like, like just go with no people. Just go and just film it and do tight shots. Don't show the arena. Like they did a really good job with her match. They didn't really show much of the arena. They really did good shots of the girls' match where they kept it pretty tight, where you know you could actually just and the girls weren't playing to like it was weird. I caught this, and I don't know if a couple of you guys caught this, but like I watched a couple of guys try to play to the crowd, and there was no crowd there, and I'm like, okay, I get the opportunity to be on TV and there's no crowd, and all I know is that there's 100 cameras pointing at this face, why would I go look off to the stands where I know there's nobody at and pretend to talk? I'm going to go right up to that camera and just be like, what's up? Here I am, like, focus all on me. Why would you stand back and walk away and look towards empty rafters? Like, you're wasting TV time, man. Put this on the camera. Mm-hmm. Guys, come on. What you doing?
Got to be smart. You're working the crowd at home right now more than ever. Got to do it.
Literally. Oh my God. I would have been I would have been all over the camera. This face would have been like, what's up? I wouldn't been looking at no empty crowd. I've been looking right at the camera where everybody's looking.
And that was one thing Miss Red Velvet did very well, is like I felt that coming through with the mixing of the whatever,
stirring it up straight out of her mama's kitchen.
Like I was like, dude, she looks fierce, man. She's ready to throw it down. Like it's going down. I was invested. I was in.
Oh, she's a badass, and her whole family's badass. I mean, her dad was a professional boxer. I mean, she's a tough worker, and she did this all on her own. She worked so hard. Like I've never gotten in the ring with her. I've agent one match of hers, and that's it. I've never got. She's done it all on her own. And yes, she had her coach and her trainers, but she's done it all on her own. She has like nothing to do with me. I'm so proud of that girl because she's done it all on her own, and she's going to be one of the biggest superstars, one of the biggest stars ever.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully, this means she's going to start taking over AEW because I can see it. I'm all for it.
Well, they need some badass girls like my girl.
And you know what? They do. They really do, because I love me some AEW wrestling, but one thing I've been really missing is a strong women's division for them right now. The way they started it off from the first TV to now, it's just been really kind of weird. There's been no storylines really going on in the women's side. It's just been kind of these matches getting put together. So yeah, they need someone who can come out and tell a story and work together and stuff. You're seeing some cool stuff with Britt Baker right now, but man, they need some good girls in there and let them go. Let them build a story, tell a story, entertain. Man, for sure. Because like I said, it's been frustrating to see so much creativity and storyline and story build all over that show, and then the women that just, all right, go out and wrestle. There's no rhyme or reason why you guys are wrestling each other. No, nothing. You're just ranking, so go.
What I also like, what's up with some of the guys' gear? They were some of the shittiest gear I've seen in a while. I was like, man, if you throw me on TV, I'm gonna spend like at least $1,000 on my gear and look fucking good. But like, I was watching some of the guys' matches and I'm looking at their gear. I'm like, They're straight out of like, I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's different because with AEW,
I know it might. Please be honest with me. Did you not check out some of the dude's gear and was like, "What are you wearing? Like, is it you really think this is cool?" You look in the mirror and look at yourself and say, "Man, I really look good today."
I don't know, man. They're on a budget, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Like, you got to think some of the guys on the AEW stuff aren't actually signed. They're being brought in for just a match, maybe.
Okay,
so
well,
wearing what they're wearing on the show. How the shows around.
Well, here's what I got to tell you. If you get an opportunity to go to a really nice job, do you show up in gym shorts and a t-shirt, or do you actually save up and try to buy a suit and try to look good?
Right. I get you. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Opportunity, invest in yourself. That's one thing I tell a lot of the guys when they come up to me and they're like, "Man, do you watch a match?" I'm like, "Yeah, you did good." And they're like, "What else could I do?" And I'm like, "Invest in yourself." And they're like, "What does that mean?" I'm like, "Look at your gear. Like, do you really think you could go on WWE TV wearing that?" Honestly. And I'm being truthful because I'm not gonna lie to nobody. I'm honest. And they'll look at me and they're like, "You're right." I'm like, "Here's what you do. You buy TV gear and you buy your indie gear.
Mm-hmm.
You spend some money on your TV gear where you only wear it at TVs or really big shows. Then you have your regular mud show wrestling events and you wear, those other ones." But I don't know what's up. It ceased to amaze me because there was a time where I didn't have any money and I got opportunity to go somewhere and I spent $400, the only $400 I have, and I bought the nicest pair of tights I could get just because I was like, man, if you want to look the part, you got to act the part,
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
So.
Yeah. You're right, though. It's like an interview. You're going to show up for the job. You dress for the job you want is what they always say, everyone.
I mean, you're going to show up in sweatpants, underwear, and a white beater? Like, come on now.
I'll tell you what, I'll never forget it, man. Like, my first real job interview in the radio industry when I was breaking into radio back in the day when I was still a disc jockey, I showed up with my demo tape, my resume, suit, head to toe looking good and professional. The program director and the operations manager of the station and the cluster come out and see me, and they're just like, "Wow, you really dressed up." And I was like, "Is this not a job interview? What do you mean by that, man? Like, what do you mean?" Like,
but guess what?
I want to work.
But you know what? You got their attention, and they saw that you were serious. I guarantee you got the job.
Oh, I mean, I got the job without question. It wasn't that it was partially like I stuck out, but then it was also partially I realized like they just didn't care.
Yeah, but still, though, like, I don't know.
You're right, though.
I mean, I got 5 suits that I wear every time I do a business meeting or whatever, whether it's relaxed or not. I just want to look professional.
Yeah,
I want that command. I want that control. I don't want,
Well, like you said, respecting yourself too.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Christopher, thanks for hanging out. Yeah, Ricky Starks and Abandon signed some AEW contracts. Abandon was that's a gimmick right there. Mr. JR, that's my boy right there. Yeah, Wes, we got shirts for our 2 count show that we're gonna give you one because they're pretty funny. It's the count from Sesame Street, counting to 2. Because I'm a mastermind when it comes to merchandise. Not really. I stole it from the Jericho Cruise, but yeah, I'm gonna get you one, man. So you just gotta like what you wear. You wear like a medium or something. What do you want? Baby cabinet? I don't know. Half of the time when I'm like talking to you, you don't even have a shirt on. So
extra large.
I
don't wear anything but extra large.
Everybody watching this or who has watched all of our shows, anybody like who loves Wes would love the fact to know, like, literally he usually only has a shirt on for our shows. Like as soon as we're not live, like the first thing I look up once I'm like getting off of the live part of this is just whoosh. Hey man, I'm in Florida. I don't wear shirts.
Dude, it's Florida, bro. Flip flops and shorts. That's it. That's like the quota. Like you can get it anywhere. Like you can cruise like that way.
Right. What's up, Ed? Thanks for hanging out. You know what's funny is you say that, and like the one time that I went to Florida with you, or was in Florida hanging out with you, you were like, "Man, it is freezing." I'm like, "Dude, it's like 55." I am, because it was February. So
cold. I'm not sweatshirt and jeans and socks and shoes on.
Yeah, I was sweating. I had like my shorts on, a t-shirt on. I'm like, whoo. When we were on the beach that day, I was like, man, I'm warm. Like, because I came from a winter, like real winter.
Yeah, we don't get that around here.
Oh man. If you were up here, like, I mean, I know you've been in winter weather and stuff, but man.
I've been in some for working for Hannibal.
Yeah,
I have done some crazy like Winnipeg, Nova Scotia, like out in the middle of nowhere, Canada, freezing cold, and it's like supposed to be like mid, like spring, and it's like, it's crazy though.
Dude.
It's crazy that like weather can change from different areas. Like, you know, I can talk to you right now, and like it's just storming, lightning, and pouring down rain right now, but it's probably like 80 outside right now.
Yeah, dude, it's probably like in the mid 80s where I'm at, and just a little cloudy. Like we're getting our summer now. We're in summer, so we're good.
Well, you know, the Saharan Desert sand's gonna hit us next week, and that's gonna boost up temperatures.
You know what we had like a week ago? We caught like rain off of one of the tropical storms, I guess, that came up south that was so big it shot.
Well, we had a tornado go through Orlando and rip up like 30 houses.
Damn.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
That's nuts. So, because I'm sure people are loving our conversation about weather right now. What I mean, what's going on?
Weather is like the best thing in the world. If you don't know the weather, then you don't know like what's going on.
Dude, and a Florida rain, you guys are so right. Like every time I'm in Florida and I'm like, oh man, it looks like it's gonna rain. Someone is always like, yeah, but it won't last long. And even when I was visiting with you, I'm like, oh, it's gonna rain. I was like, damn it. No, dude, it'll be good in like a half hour though.
Yeah, it's like the rain comes in and it cools everything off. It'll rain for an hour and then everything cools off and it's all great. It's like around like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Like next month, you can start timing your watch around it. It's around like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You're guaranteed a rainstorm, and then it'll be the sunniest, beautiful day afterwards.
Nice, dude. I've always enjoyed it. I can't lie.
I went through Coffee Talk, man. That guy, he gives a good weather report.
Yeah, it's
or something. Because he's like super quiet. He's like, today in Orlando, it's gonna be beautiful.
So, does he do this on YouTube or is he on like a news channel?
It's on YouTube. It's gonna be just, you know, a gorgeous day out there, guys. It's one of those days that you just want to get outside. You know, oh yes, Beth, I do see the tropical depression coming this way. We are gonna get some rain, but trust me, guys, it's only gonna last for about an hour, and it'll be nice and sunny. That's how he talks. I'm like, dude, this dude's awesome. I'm like, I'm already awake, but you can like talk in your full voice, but that's how he talks. It's crazy. It's called Coffee Talk.
Like listening to Garrison Keillor talk to you.
Yeah, shout out to whoever Coffee Talk is, dude. Holla at me.
Oh, that's clear. There you go, guys. We want to work with you.
Hey, no, the funniest thing is on this morning's episode, a chick, like one of his whatever, she's in the background going like to the back. I'm like, it just made me laugh. Like, you know, it's like, it's cool that they can joke around and play around like that, and like it popped me because I'm like, oh shit, like I don't know.
That's what's great, man. Because like you know, I mentioned earlier that I was in the radio game. Like I was in terrestrial radio, like on an FM dial, and that you talk about that and be like, it's so cool watching that to get my weather. like it is a crazy age where we don't have to go to mainstream broadcasting anymore, man. You don't have to listen to an actual radio station. You don't have to turn on the news on your local. Just go to YouTube or Facebook and you're good.
When I was a kid, to check the surf report, there was a phone number that you had to call. And it was like a local surf shop. And they would be like, sometimes it'd be accurate, sometimes not. And you would call and be like, wonder, like trying to figure out, should I go to the beach? Should I not? And you're like calling. And finally they're like, today's surf report is this, and this, and this. And then you hang up, try to call your boys. Hey, dude, it's fired. Like, it's crazy. Like,
we had to do that to get just like movie times, man, back in the day. Like you couldn't go online, and if you didn't have the newspaper, you didn't have the movie ad.
Hi, bro. My dad had the thickest TV guide in the world. And then shout out to Pops. He had like the bootleg cable. Like he had like the satellite dish where you like
the black
put in the codes and stuff and like put in a card and you get like all the movie channels, everything for free. Shout out to Pops with the scamming the cable company. Yeah.
Dude, that's, you know what? That
was longer than 10 years ago, so that's past statutes of limitations. So hit me. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, plus who's gonna go bother Papa Brisco about that now? Plus he'll just wrap him up. So
if you go on the Brisco property and there's electronic gate with a code with a camera, and if you go past that camera and code, there's 3 pit bulls and my dad has a shotgun.
Yeah, you don't want none of that.
So I don't think you want to go on the Brisco property.
No. You know what's hilarious is dude, I attribute an illegal cable box to why I'm also a big wrestling fan too, because growing up we had the black box because my family moved to Minnesota from New York City. So, you know, they were cities.
You in New York, you know, you always got the bootleg stuff.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So we had the
wallet, that Louis wallet.
Yeah. So me growing up in the early, mid 80s and early 90s, I had pay-per-view for free, man. I have probably the good, probably from 88 till about 94, like pay-per-views on tape somewhere.
And the best is those were all like the Tyson fights and all the good stuff. Like the first,
dude, it was like the era. Yeah, that was like when pay-per-views were a real event. You know what I mean? Like families came together to watch the next Tyson fight, I mean that, dude, no one will ever forget him biting Holyfield's ear off. Like everybody watched that. Like
my dad has a picture of Tyson biting my dad's ear.
Oh, that's great. That's so great. I'm still waiting, man. Like, I don't know what's going on if AEW hasn't gotten him to sign the line or what, because they keep talking, but they're not actually announced a match with him and Jericho yet.
It's probably due to money issues.
It's got to happen, though.
Money issues or dates. Tyson might be booked and might be getting way more money to go do a speech or doing something at his ranch or who knows what. Tyson probably has his hand in 100 different avenues.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you mentioned his ranch. Is that his? That's his because he has like an actual cannabis ranch, right? Like you can go there and it's like a resort.
It's a cannabis ranch. He does not grow the products or sell the products. They're just under his name, and you can get them.
But he has a resort too, though, right?
Yeah, he has a resort. You can go there and smoke, and there's a dispensary there, and all this. But they don't actually grow on the site.
Oh, okay. But that's still genius, man. A resort.
And if they do, it's a small greenhouse just to show people how it works.
Right. Yeah.
But it's more of a retreat for like yoga, fitness, wrestling, and I believe they do DMT trips there and like some psychedelics and some other stuff like that.
That's something that I just never really veered off to in my young years of experimenting with things. Like I just never was really big into that. When I was younger, I probably maybe tripped out on mushrooms a couple of times, but that was it. But the DMT stuff, I've watched documentaries and I've heard stories, and like it sounds crazy.
Never done it. I've ate mushrooms before because my people, You know, that's something that's like spiritual. We do sweat lodges where we peyote and stuff like that. But that's part of my history and my culture. But I never done DMT or like acid or any man-made drug. Like that's just not for me. It's just like something like that. Ugh, just scares me. I mean, a mushroom. Yes, if you eat the wrong mushroom, you will die. But you know what you're doing. You know they're not that bad. But I'm not condoning no one to do anything.
Yeah,
But
we don't promote drugs.
no, not at all.
We
That I
deny anybody doing
But
what they.
I'm not going to lie to anybody and say that I have not done mushrooms.
Oh,
I have
not gonna.
but you know, I don't promote any type of drug use. But you know, to each their own. But anything that is man made, I feel like is just not. It's just not good for you.
Yeah, you don't know what's getting put in that stuff, so it's crazy.
There'll be some fentanyl on it in that thing, you know.
Next thing you know, a friendly shrimp gave you cancer. Should we talk about wrestling at all? Is there anything to talk about? Is there anything wrestling wise you want to talk about? I guess.
Other than Randy Orton talking mad shit about NXT.
Oh yeah, he was going off on Ciampa, huh?
Yeah, like, what do you think about that, dude? That was pretty smooth, though. I actually agree with them, though. And see, that's the funniest thing is like y'all might not agree with me, but if you add up how much money Randy Orton's making and has made, and how long his career has been, and how much more money he's gonna make compared to all these guys that go out there and maybe have a 5-year run, get paid some good money, and then they get hurt, and then they go back to the Indies or somewhere else. But Randy Orton's been making, he's making $4 million a year.
I mean, yeah.
And he's not hurt, and he wrestles every single show, and he is badass. And no one can deny that Randy Orton is not one of the best wrestlers in the business. I mean, I don't care what you say. He is so good. He can work a body part. He can do moves out of nowhere. Like when Evan Bourne did that shooting star press in the RKO. I mean, just him when he would do the body part where he'd lay the guy down, stomp on his fingers, stomp on his neck, like work all the way around. I mean, just vicious. And everyone says they've never been hurt by him once. He's never hurt one person. Never hurt one person.
Right.
The only time he's been hurt is when he did it himself by hitting the mat.
Right, exactly. And I never made. See, that's the other thing. Like I
he drives a Bentley.
Right. I love NXT and Tommaso Ciampa's.
Tommaso drive a Bentley.
Right, but that's the thing. Like, why
Bentley?
Why would you pigeonhole yourself and say? I guess. I mean, I'm not him, so maybe he really is just that happy with that. But yeah. I'm gonna retire if I get moved to Raw or SmackDown. Why be in WWE if you're not trying to get to the top?
Because he wants that Honda Accord.
Apparently,
he wants that Honda Accord. He might get it loaded, but Randy Orton's driving that Bentley fully loaded.
Yeah, man. And
I know he has a Bentley because I've been in it.
Do you have any thoughts of Randy Orton and Edge in the greatest wrestling match ever?
No comment. You got a crying baby, or is that your cat?
I was going to say my cat apparently had a problem with that match. What?
I still die.
I mean, I said it was a good match, but greatest match wrestling. You know what I said is you can't make something the greatest ever if that's how you're going to promote it.
No, I think what needs to happen is Randy needs to work with these younger guys and have some WrestleMania events with some of this younger talent where he can show them how to really control WrestleMania, show them how to control 80,000, 70,000 people when it does become the opportunity, or actually show them how to work TV properly. Because a lot of these guys are running spots not towards hard cam, not hitting the ropes properly. I mean, it's just little things that telling a story. Like he says, it's like one car crash after the other, but then when you leave the scene of the accident, you don't know what type of car even crashed. It's like no one got over it. It was like, yeah, they're just clapping because you're doing cool stuff, but at the end of the day, are they going to remember your name? Are they just going to just be like, oh, yeah, that one guy did a bunch of cool stuff, and then, yeah, whatever. But then they're like, oh, man, the guy Randy Orton took his time, sold, really put over what he was doing, took his time. I don't know. I guess it's just opinion of other people. People, like other things,
Like I said, it was a good match, but like it was a lot, obviously a lot of spots they were taking from all these other great, they were taking from Steamboat and Savage and all these other matches and just throwing it all together. But I'm with you, man. That was been my thing with the whole Orton Edge thing is Edge is finally back. I don't want to see him wrestle Randy Orton that I've seen already. They were teammates. I've seen them against each other. Cool. I want to see Edge wrestle some of these guys I never thought he'd wrestle.
Well, the main reason why is they're going to put Edge with someone that, again, has a track record of not hurting nobody.
Right. And I get that from Mania, but I was really hoping it was a one-off. I don't know why we keep going with it. Because there's going to be one more now, too. Like, we have to have the rubber match. They're going to do an Extreme Rules match. Well, I guess I shouldn't say Extreme Rules match. They're going to do another match when Edge comes back, whenever that might be.
Yeah.
But was it a torn bicep, I thought I heard? I think it was a torn bicep. So you may know more than I do about how recovery time for something like that would go about, but it
for 4 months.
So probably looking 3, 4, 5 months in that window till we see Edge back. But
hopefully it's when they have a crowd so they can get a pop.
Definitely. But it sounds like we might see Christian sooner than that make his return back to the ring. So we'll see about that. And if anybody
Christian's back?
Well, he's been doing he did the Peep show. He came out, I guess, on Raw to confront Orton, and they did a street fight.
MVP's back,
What's that?
Said MVP's back. Big shout out to MVP.
Hell yeah. Yeah, MVP's doing a lot of good things over there. Let me ask you this, something else that happened recently. A lot of people were talking about with WWE. They got rid of Paul Heyman last week as head of creative for Monday Night Raw, and now that has fallen onto Bruce Pritchard, who will be taking care of Raw and SmackDown. Not a lot of people have been happy with Raw and the way it was going for a while. When they did this, it sounded like USA wasn't too happy that they got rid of Paul Heyman and they were bringing Bruce Pritchard in. So it was an interesting thing that happened. So what do you think now that you've heard this? What's your opinion on that?
What's your question?
Well, I mean, first of all, do you think they pulled do you think Paul Heyman got a fair run?
I think so. And I think maybe he was maybe over it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, and it's funny because him and Bischoff came in. Bischoff obviously got let go not long ago, and now it's Heyman. How do you feel about Bruce Pritchard taking over both shows?
To be honest with you, he is not the person that takes care of the shows. It's Vince, Stephanie, and Hunter. Then that information's relayed to Bruce.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce will put his mind into it. If they like it, they like it. If not, he sticks with what they do, and then he sends it to the rest of the people.
Right, yeah. It's worth noting anything WWE wise. There is always one person who has.
I'm telling you straight out. I know what happens. I know the chain of command. I know how it works. And if you don't follow that chain of command, they will fire you.
So do you think maybe Heyman will try to?
I've seen it before. If you go over someone's head and ask them for something else over someone, Vince will be like, "Well, why didn't you ask Hunter that? Why did you come to me? You should have went to Hunter first, and then Hunter should have came to me."
Mm-hmm.
That's how it's ran. There's a reason why it's like in the military. There's rank.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting. See, I think USA, the network. I think the reason they only had issues with it, I feel, is because of I don't know how they feel about the guy who's doing Fox's SmackDown. You know, because that's the thing. Before SmackDown wasn't like a real big, but now that it's on Fox, you know, and USA I think is owned by NBC Network. So obviously those are two networks that are always going to battle each other. So I wonder if
I mean, those guys are just really just. I mean, I hate to say it, sometimes just scapegoats.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but to be honest with you, they're just collectible damage where I'm going to be honest with you. Vince, Stephanie, Hunter have full control.
Oh, yeah.
There is no if and buts about it. They are control of creative. I don't care who you think you are. That is what happens. And then, of course, then after that, you have Bruce and then whoever else falls down the line. I don't know.
Right.
I know for a fact that Vince, Stephanie, Hunter, that's the order that you got to go through. And if you don't go through that order, it'll be hell to pay.
Oh, yeah. Just like the song. No chance in hell.
No, straight up mafia style.
You know what I mean? But
that's a corporation because they have people in place to answer certain questions. You know what I'm saying? So I totally understand it and I agree with it. You got to have a chain of command. If you don't have a chain of command, then everything falls through. And then what the first leader says to the second leader, no, the third leader will be like, well, the fourth person didn't obey him and he got a free pass. So yes, there has to be a chain of command, and yes, there has to be a certain way of things, because if not, there's chaos.
Right, exactly. Someone has to lead. There has to be a leader. It's always that way.
Yep.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm really. It sounds like they're still pushing for events in September. It'll be interesting to see once we start seeing some maybe arena shows finally pop up, maybe even smaller scale arena shows for someone like WWE and AEW, because that's going to be a big deal when they start. I mean, I know WWE already had fans, I believe, at the last round of tapings at the Performance Center. There was some, not a lot, but a few. Unfortunately, like that happened, and the very next day is when all of a sudden one of the NXT talent or Performance Center people tested positive for COVID. So I don't know. They might now put a pause on letting fans come back to the Performance Center due to that.
I don't think they should allow any fans at the Performance Center.
I thought that was weird too.
Just because of a couple different reasons. Is because Performance Center should be a place for only talent.
Yeah.
It should be their safe place. It should be their home. They should not have to worry about any outside interference. As you've seen before, crazy fans have shown up to the NXT, the Performance Center, and have got arrested, and things have got kind of out of hand out there.
So it's funny that you mentioned that, because again, like that's a true thing. And it's actually like there's one dude who has been arrested multiple times for going to the Performance Center. He's the one that got shot at one of the last times he was there a few years ago, and literally like 2 days ago showed back up at the Performance Center. He videoed the whole thing, acting crazy, talking about how WWE's scared to sign me, blah blah blah. And it's like, dude, you look like you're cracked out. Like, and the reason why it kind of got online a bit this week was because two of the female talents were engaging with him. I think they were trying to like kind of calm him down, maybe, because obviously this guy's not right mentally. You can tell that. And,
well, first of all, the Divas should not be doing that. It should be.
And trust me, he was surrounded by cops too. They were out there pretty quick. He was covered. I just saw that it was like, dude, you shouldn't. Like, this guy's been known to cause problems. If he's there, like, talent shouldn't be anywhere outside dealing with him. But like, dude, like
nowhere near the Performance Center,
dude.
civilians should not be around. Anybody that's not employed with WWE should not go to the Performance Center unless you're asked to go.
Right. Yeah. I agree. Like that, or unless you paid your $1,000 ticket for like the every once in a while they do the backstage tour. It's a place of business. It's a place for people to learn and grow. I figure if they want to do that though, like start doing like NXT or start doing maybe some of the shows outside. Because then you can bring a little bit more people in. You can social distance them a little bit more too. And you can find a neutral space. So they're not in people in the public aren't coming to the performance grounds. You drove me by it when I was there in Orlando. And I mean, if you wouldn't have pointed it out, I would have never saw it. Like it's not easy to find and it's kind of hidden.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you can tell that if you watch that guy's video from this last week, because I mean, he looked like he was walking in the middle of nowhere and then all of a sudden was there. So, I mean, like you said, plus you can get more people if you do it outside. Like I'm super, I mean, because AEW is kind of outside where they're doing shows. It's in an amphitheater. But if WWE really wanted to get a jump on them, run a couple shows every once in a while in a big parking lot and let some fans come out and you're going to get that feel again. Because that's the thing. WWE struggled putting shows on with this pandemic and no fans.
I think they should hold off.
Yeah.
I think they should wait until at least another month and figure out what the hell is going on.
Yeah, I agree too. This next few weeks are going to be really big as the states are opening.
I mean, people are saying there's going to be no NFL.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy?
Tom Brady better play.
Wouldn't that? And what kind of bitch would that be? You guys get Brady, you get Gronk, and then they cancel the first.
Whatever. He'll just know the plays even better.
Yeah, I mean, it's legitimate that the Bucks have gone, and they haven't even played. That's what's crazy. And just from when season ended last year to this year, they have improved greatly to the point where they could become a contender.
We've always had a good team, but
always a good team, but not standout.
Yeah, and I mean, when John Gruden left, you know, it went downhill. But then we started coming back a little bit, and then you know, made a poor choice of a quarterback, and then do nothing. And wanted too much money. And then we got the greatest quarterback in the world.
Right. Yeah. And that guy
receivers, we got Evans, we got Gronk. I mean, dude, Evans is like 6'8", 6'9". Like that dude is so tall. We got Gronk, he's like 6'5". And then we got what's his name? His name. But whatever. We got a bunch of bad dudes.
No, you guys have a decent offense. Or I mean, now that you had a good offense. You just didn't have that.
We've always been a defensive team.
Yeah. Oh, dude. So I was a big Warren Sapp fan back in the day because of you guys.
Warren Sapp, Derek Brooks, Ronde Barber.
Oh, yeah, man. Dude, Tampa Bay was the shit. It just, they kind of went away for a little bit.
Garland was the man.
I mean, I don't know if they, no, I was going to say, I don't know if they'll be able to compete with my Cowboys, but I have no expectations of
whatever. Them. What's the name has Corona? He ain't showing up.
Ezekiel's got Corona and Dak has.
He got Corona. He ain't showing up. Brady's just going to be like, free pass. Pow, 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 pow.
Well, at this point, though, we don't even have a quarterback. Prescott hasn't signed yet. Now it's talks he might not even sign. We might just get rid of him.
No, you don't want Corona from the Cowboys. The whole Cowboys team is spreading Corona all over the place.
Dude, from what I heard, dude, it was like him and a bunch of guys on the Cowboys, I guess, got it. There's a couple other teams. I heard there's like a few MLB teams of like a bunch of players got it. I don't know if they were starting to say, because they were starting, some of these sports were starting to like coaches come back, and some of them were starting to go to maybe a training camp or two. And like also,
Brady's been doing like private practices with just his receivers.
Has he?
And shut down quarantine buildings before he even shows up, where they like clean the building, completely disinfected, and it's like him and the receivers, and they go out and just ball out. So we can
imagine if you could get a video of that.
There's videos of that.
Is
There's
it?
over it because he's been doing it inside and outside.
Man, that's crazy. Like that's just, it's amazing because that guy could have gone anywhere, and Tampa was not someplace a lot of people were like, yeah, he'll go there. You know?
Yeah, but here's the thing: is he looked at the stats and saw that, man, if we had a great quarterback, they would do good because we were catching the ball, we were defending good, but thing is, we throw so many interceptions that would offset anything that we'd ever do.
Yeah.
So now if we have a quarterback that doesn't make stupid decisions, doesn't want to steal crab legs, and kind of wants to just throw the football and score some touchdowns.
It's going to be good. It's going to be fun to watch.
I mean, Winston, dog, you didn't have to get them crab legs, dog. I got some crab jacks. I could have hooked you up, bro. Just give me some tickets.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch. But yeah, it's so, I mean, I was just reading too, like they're just starting to talk about school for the fall here. And like they said, July, like 20 something, they're going to make the announcement on if kids are going to go back, if it's going to be social distant, what's going to happen. And it's just so crazy too. You know, there's still like, I think we can't have big events here till September now.
I mean, the whole world's going crazy. What about the war in India?
Yeah, which, I mean, you don't
You
even
know about that, right?
I haven't heard much about it.
India and China are going to war right now.
I heard about North and South Korea are going back at it too.
Check out India and China. This is a big deal. China's trying to take over India.
I thought I just heard too that China was going to start shutting down again because of the COVID.
I don't know. They've been setting up military trying to take over parts of India. It's been pretty crazy. And then China and Africa are back at it again.
Man, at a time when everybody should be coming together, everybody's going nuts. Everybody needs to just be cool, man. Everybody
love everybody.
What is that?
Ron Burgundy. Everybody love everybody.
What do you love everybody?
What does that say?
Love.
Because he goes, what does this ring say? And it says,
oh, yeah, semi-pro.
Everybody love everybody.
Yeah, Will Ferrell. Everybody love everyone.
Yeah.
It's true, though, man. Like, I see so much stuff with people just going at each other in comments of posts that, like, didn't even start out being anything like that. And it's just like,
everyone needs to look at everyone as equal.
Yeah.
There is no race. There is no color. There is no religion. There is no, like, if you want to be gay or what, transgender, everyone's cool. Like,
yeah,
everyone should just be their name. No, there should be no label. No one should label anybody anything. Everyone should just be human.
Dude,
we're just here. We're just here. Like, we all believe the same color. We're just here.
I'll tell you what, I was always taught that if you want to be treated kindly and treated with respect, then you have to treat everybody else kind and respectfully. Like, and even if I don't like someone or have issues with someone, I will still, in their presence, treat them with maybe not a whole lot of respect, but still kind. I'm not going to be, again, my thing is too, is it takes so much energy to be a dick and to hate and all that. Like,
hate is such a strong word that we really should not use the word hate. We should use dislike.
Yeah.
Hate is just such a powerful word that I feel like, should not be used.
Well, and I think hate, especially when it's being used for human beings, comparing each other, like if you hate Brussels sprouts, you hate Brussels sprouts. But like, why do you have to hate someone? You may not like them, and that's fine because you don't have to hang out with them. You don't have to have them in your life, whatever. But you don't have to hate them for it. Like, just respect.
Why do you gotta hate Brussels sprouts, dude?
Oh, I love them, actually. I do.
Dude, I put them on the smoker.
Ooh. Dude, we're going to have to do a cooking show with Wes one of these times. Like, we'll come on and, like, you just walk me through something you're cooking.
Dude, we might, in, like, maybe 2 weeks, we could do a cooking show because I might be mahi fishing.
Ooh, damn.
So we could do, like, kind of like, if you guys want to see it, like a half, like, podcast, half cooking show.
Yeah, dude. Let us know, guys. Of course, you can find us on Twitter at Brisco and Big Ace. Is it show or Brisco and Big Ace? I don't even remember anymore. It's just Brisco and Big Ace.
Just look for it.
Yeah. And then you can also find us on Facebook, the Brisco and Big Ace Show. Subscribe on YouTube, the Brisco and Big Ace Show. Wes, what do you got coming up? More shows? I know you did a pretty big hit this last week, so I know you were relaxing, but when's the next show?
Next month.
Okay. Is that okay? Perfect. So, well, it'll be out on your social media. You guys can find Wes on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. You can find the Brisco and Big Ace Show on all that stuff, and you can find me on some of that stuff. Twitter.
By the way, Big Ace runs my Facebook, Twitter, and all that other stuff, just to let anybody know. So do not send or do anything negative or derogatory. You will be shut down, blocked.
This is true. We don't want to see any of that or deal with any of that. So keep it cool, man. Keep it cool. If you couldn't tell by now, like, we're pretty relaxed people and chill. We don't want any of that negative energy in our ways. So, like, keep that away. So again, you can find I'm on Twitter. That's about the only thing I give out. Is I don't do the Facebook one except my personal one. So
and mine.
Yeah, and yours. Big Ace for life on with a 4, number 4 on Twitter, and then the 2 Count Show every Tuesday at 8 with comedian John Russell, where we get real nerdy on the world of professional wrestling. So it's the nerdy show where I wouldn't do that talk with Wes, because you would be like, really, bro, like, yeah, exactly. You would just shut the thing and be like, why are we talking about this? Yeah, that's it. We mark out a chance.
But you got to understand, but that's not what we're about. We're like the black sheep of like podcast and wrestling shows, because that's not us. Like, we just enjoy talking with each other and just kind of catching up. And we feel like when we share, a lot of people enjoy it and a lot of people want to listen. So we decided to put it out there. And
yeah, for sure. People don't realize, like, regardless if we do a show, because sometimes we go a week or 2 without a show, we're still talking. Like, we're boys. It's not like I just do a show with
a lot of times I yell at them. I'm like, save it for the show. Don't talk to me about it.
Yeah, we actually, when we talk normally, we don't talk any wrestling unless it's like, oh, how did your show go? Yeah. We don't talk any wrestling on the phone, really, because we just save it for this. But yeah, man. So again, if you guys want to see a cooking show, let us know in the comments. Let us know on social media. We can maybe do that down the line here. Like he said, he might be doing some mahi fishing, so that could be a fun little show. Maybe have Danny Boy come on and help you out. He could be here.
He'd definitely be on the show.
You know. Yeah, and again, you can check me out on that on Tuesday nights. Anything else you want to shout out? Again, Red Velvet Online, man. Make sure you check out her Twitter, follow her stuff too. Check out her on AEW Dark.
Yeah, just pretty much, check out Red Velvet. I mean, I'm not just saying that because she's my wifey and my lovey, but truly, she is going to be something to see on TV. She is a badass, and please go follow her, go give her a like. There's a lot more to come. Can't really give you the details because that's not my business. So, but big things are coming with Red Velvet.
We might have to have her come by one time on the show as well.
Yeah, I mean, she's like there.
She's not every week, but we might actually have to have her come
every week. But yeah, she actually has to like say what's up.
But yeah, man, if you guys haven't though already, check it out. AEW Dark from this last week. Check out Red Velvet, an amazing performance on AEW Dark. Hopefully a lot more to see coming that way, just like a lot more to see coming your way with the Brisco and Big Ace show, right, Wes?
Yep.
All right. Well, again, we don't know when's next. Probably next week.
And we'll probably have a guest.
I was going to say, I think we're about due to bring on our next guest. So watch to see for that announcement, and then watch to see for the date of the show announcement. Yeah. Homeland Security right there, brother. I love it. Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys, though, next week. Everybody enjoy the rest of your weekend.